G'day guys, Justin here coming at you with another topical video, this time on who had more help, Bill Russell or LeBron James. And for those of you that don't know, I have stopped doing my NBA Player of the Day videos. It's been a little difficult to try and keep up with over the holiday period as I've been fairly busy, and trying to catch up on it's going to be almost an impossible task. So I've decided to continue on with topical videos throughout the week. And still sticking with my Player of the Week and Player of the Month videos. So this time, the topical video I've chosen is Bill Russell or LeBron James, who had more help. Now, first thing I need to do is, I'm not here to discredit either player's error. I'm not here to discredit the fact that it's a weaker error here that LeBron James plays in. I'm also not there to discredit the fact that Bill Russell played against 8 teams to 14 teams for the length of his career. I'm not here to discriminate against the fact that a lot of the guys he played with are now in the Hall of Fame, because they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. They're the forefathers and the founders of the game, and they deserve the accolades they get. And vice versa, I'm not here to rag and tag on the fact that a lot of players today, from the 1 to 3 position in LeBron's era, aren't as strong as they used to be, and are more than likely going to get a better resume based on the fact that they play in this more diluted era. Again, when there's only 8 teams, there's less jobs in a professional basketball compared to when there's 30 teams. There's obviously more jobs in professional basketball. But without further ado, let's get into it. This is a simple breakdown as to who had more help in winning championships and during their era, Bill Russell or LeBron James. As we have a look here, we have the basic resume breakdown. Now, this is the successful team resume breakdown. So we'll start with Bill Russell. Bill played for 13 seasons. He had 13 playoff appearances, so he went to the playoffs every year that he played. He made the finals 12 of those 13 years, which is unbelievable. LeBron's on track now to be heading to 9 straight NBA finals, I do believe it is, which would make it 10 overall for his 9 NBA finals, I believe, for his career, which is quite impressive when you think about it. 2007, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He will be reaching his 9th NBA finals this year if the Cavs are able to pick up their game and make it. But still, 12 finals appearances in 13 seasons, that's an unbelievable strike rate for any sport, whether it be franchise or individual. In that time, Russell won 11 championships from those 12 finals appearances. Again, unprecedented as far as franchises and individuals in any sport in the world goes. Just freakish ability there. One of the greatest team sports, one of the greatest individuals in the history of team sports, and pretty much the greatest winner in the history of team sports. So an unbelievable effort there. 12 number 1 ranked defenses in that time. Just a quick side note. The Celtics, before Russell came into the league, I believe were the 6th ranked defense through 55, 56, and then 56, 57 they jumped to number 1. The only time they weren't the number 1 ranked defense during his career was in 1967, 1968, when Wilt Chamberlain anchored the number 1 ranked defense there in the league. And no number one ranked offenses there for the Boston Celtics. So no surprise there. Defense does win championships is the saying. Obviously, when you're the number 1 ranked defense 12 times and you win the championship out of 11 of those times, it's a tried and tested formula. And we move over to LeBron James. 14 complete seasons for 12 playoff appearances. Now, obviously, I'm not including the year 2017-2018, and I am recording this just after they have announced the All-Star starters for the 2018 All-Star Game. So 14 complete seasons as of the end of 2016-17, 12 playoff appearances. Again, pretty good for a guy who came into the league at 18, meaning his first playoff appearance would have been around 20, 21 years of age. For someone who come in at out of high school, it's quite phenomenal. 8 finals appearances, as I mentioned, heading to 9 this year if Cleveland can pick up their game. For 3 championships, so the strike rate isn't there in comparison to Russell. Again, this is where a lot of people will argue about, oh, but Russell played in such a weak era. Oh, he played against 8 teams, 10 teams, 12 teams, 14 teams. That's all very well and good, but at the end of the day, you still have to get there and still have to win it. Again, 3 championships, there's a lot of players that can't say they've ever done that. which is quite remarkable when you look at it. Unfortunately, though, for LeBron, he's never been a part of a number one ranked defensive team or a number one ranked offensive team. For a guy who's reasonably well-rounded and at his prime was the best all-around player in the game, to have not done that at any point does speak volumes. But again, this is where the help comes into it. How does the help go in regards to teammates and contributing to these ranked offenses, ranked defenses, these championships, these finals appearances, and these playoff appearances? So let's get into it now. So these are Bill Russell's all-star teammates when they were a teammate of Russell's. Bob Cousy with 7 selections. Bill Sharman with 4 selections. Tom Heinsohn with 6 selections. Sam Jones with 5 selections. John Havlicek with 4 selections. And Bailey Howell with 6 selections. Now, these selections were when they were a teammate of Bill Russell's. I'll get into that a little later. So there we go. We've got Bob Cousy, Bill Sharman, Tommy Heinsohn, Sam Jones, John Havlicek, and Bailey Howell. That's 6 players for a total combination of 32 All-Star selections as Bill Russell's teammate. It's quite impressive. It's certainly, when you look at that, if they're all playing on the one team at any one time, that's a 7-deep All-Star team. Almost impossible to beat. You can see why they're winning championships. Now let's look at LeBron's All-Star teammates. We have Zydrunas Ilgauskas with 1 selection, Mo Williams with 1 selection, Dwayne Wade with 4 selections. Now there is a bracket next to his name, Chris Bosh's name, Kyrie Irving's name, and Kevin Love's name. I will get into that shortly. So as I mentioned, Zydrunas Ilgauskas with 1 selection, Mo Williams with 1 selection, Dwayne Wade with 4 selections, Chris Bosh with 4 selections, Kyrie Irving with 2 selections, and Kevin Love with 1 selection. Now, you'll notice the 8 selections for Wade in the bracket, 7 selections for Bosh in the bracket, 1 selection for Irving in the bracket, and 3 selections for Love in the bracket. I will get into that soon. But again, these are LeBron James's all-star teammates. So the first lot of brackets on the left-hand side are the selections of which they gained as LeBron's teammate. Maybe that can give you a bit of a hint there. So again, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Mo Williams, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love. 6 players for a total combination of 13 All-Star selections as a teammate. Probably start to get the gist of what the 19 means very soon. So just a quick score update. Both players with 6 All-Star teammates. Bill Russell leading the way with a total combination of 32 All-Star selections as teammates. LeBron with 13 All-Star selections for his teammates. However, Bill Russell has 0 previous selections. This means that none of the teammates that were All-Stars with him had previously been All-Stars without him, i.e. during his career. So we'll get to that in a second. Meanwhile, in LeBron's career time period, again, so I must reiterate, the time period of Bill Russell's career, 56-57 to 68-69, none of the teammates who were All-Stars with him as a teammate had previously been All-Stars during that same time period when they weren't his teammate. So, as we move over, again, LeBron James with 19 previous selections as an All-Star for those guys. So I did mention the likes of a Dwayne Wade, a Chris Bosh, a Kyrie Irving, and a Kevin Love with the brackets next to them. That means they were the previous selections during the period of LeBron's career to which they were All-Stars. That's 19 extra selections. So, I mean, if you really want to look at it, there's 32 selections each. It's quite interesting to see. Now, as we go over to Bill Russell's former or future All-Star teammates, and this is where you'll become to understand. Now, these guys were either former teammates of Russell's during his career who were then All-Stars when they weren't playing with Russell, or they became All-Stars with Russell later on in his career, but had previously been All-Stars when they weren't teammates with Bill Russell. So I think that's pretty easy to understand. We'll go through it. We have Carl Braun with 1 selection, Willie Knowles with 4 selections, Woody Salisbury with 1 selection, Clyde Lovelett with 3 selections, and Wayne Embry with 5 selections. So that's a total of 5 more players, or 5 more future or former teammates, for a total of 14 selections. Now we look at the list for LeBron James. LeBron James's former or future All-Star teammates. So again, must reiterate, these guys were either former teammates of LeBron, who then became All-Stars when they weren't playing with LeBron, or were eventually teammates with LeBron who had been All-Stars before playing with LeBron. So we have Shaquille O'Neal with 5 selections, Ray Allen with 7 selections, Jamal Magloire with 1 selection, Ben Wallace with 3 selections, Anton Jameson with 2 selections, Sean Marion with 3 selections, Rashard Lewis with 2 selections, Carlos Boozer with 2 selections, Derrick Rose with 3 selections, Darren Williams with 3 selections, Kyle Korver with 1 selection, and Isaiah Thomas with 2 selections. Now that doesn't seem like much, but when you bring in the previous selections of Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving, and Dwayne Wade, that's another 19 All-Star selections during LeBron's career when he wasn't their teammate. So the total individuals on this list is 12. I mean, if you want to bring in Love, Irving, Bosh, and Wade at 16, but we'll go with 12. And you bring up the total, that's 53 extra All-Star selections with former or future All-Star teammates. It's quite a lot. So let's look at the final score. In summary, Bill Russell played with a total of 11 All-Stars throughout his career, former or future or at the time of being his teammate. 11, for a total of 46 All-Star selections. Meanwhile, LeBron James played with 18 All-Star teammates, either before they were his teammate, after being his teammate, or when they were his teammate, for a grand total of 66 All-Star selections. That's right, 7 more players for 20 more All-Star selections. So in summary, in 13 seasons, Bill Russell had 11 different teammates who at one point in the career had been selected as All-Stars. The total amount of All-Star selections they combined for was 46. In 14 complete seasons, LeBron James has had 18 different teammates who at one point in their career had been selected as All-Stars. The total amount of All-Star selections they combined for is 66. And just a quick note here. The All-Star selections counted in these tallies were obtained during Russell's career time period of seasons 1956-57 through to season 1968-69, and LeBron's career time period, season 2003-2004 to 2016-2017. Therefore, All-Star selections obtained outside of these time periods for players such as Bob Cousy, who was an All-Star before Bill Russell debuted, and Shaquille O'Neal, who was clearly an All-Star and an all-time great, mind you, same with Cousy. When they were selected, their All-Star selections were outside of their careers. They were not counted in the total. In conclusion, although his teammates combined for more All-Star selections when they were playing with Bill Russell, he as an individual did not rely on acquiring All-Star caliber talent to play with in order to win championships. On the other hand, although his teammates combined for less All-Star selections when playing with LeBron James, he as an individual has relied on the acquisition of All-Star caliber talent to play with in order to win championships. This is evident as LeBron has played with 18 All-Stars or All-Star caliber talents throughout his career for a combined 66 All-Star selections, as I previously mentioned, while Russell played with 11 All-Stars or All-Star caliber talents throughout his career for a combined 46 selections at the All-Star game. So, ladies and gentlemen, your winner for who had more help over Bill Russell, who apparently had more help than anyone in history, and that's why they won so many championships. The winner out of him and LeBron for who had more help is the man on screen here, looking very sad and sorry after another NBA Finals loss. LeBron James has clearly had more help than Bill Russell. Now you can go into the argument of, oh, well, how many of those Celtics players became Hall of Famers? That's something I'm also going to break down for you later on and compare what will happen to some of the teammates that LeBron had who were eventually Hall of Fame players or will be Hall of Fame players compared to the guys who Bill Russell played with who are Hall of Fame players. And again, I'm not doing this to take a dump or disrespect the guys who played back in Bill Russell's era. They deserve all the accolades that they get. They are the founding fathers of the game. However, I'd also like to point out how simple and how easy it is for a lot of players to gain entry into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Not that they don't deserve it, but there are some who are more than questionable at times. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hit the like button, leave a comment what you thought of it, who do you think had more help, and what do you think are some major factors that I probably didn't take into account. However, I do find it hard to see where I haven't crossed paths here in this argument. So again, like button, hit the comment button, subscribe for more videos like this. I plan on releasing a video like this once a week. I continue to do my NBA Player of the Day videos, and I continue to do my NBA Player of the Month, and stay up to date with the current NBA. If you want to talk more, hit me up on Twitter. It's there on the screen, Justin_G_Bryan. That's the spelling. That's all you need. So again, thank you very much for watching this video on who had more help, Bill Russell or LeBron James. My answer, ladies and gentlemen, is LeBron James.